Hello and welcome to Teach Me English. This is your host Muhammad Ansari, and I have today come here with a video on The Tempest by William Shakespeare, Act 1, Scene 2. Act 1, Scene 2 is a scene of approximately 500 lines, so it is not possible to cover all the lines in one video, like the full scene in one video. There are 3-4 divisions in this first scene. First part, the story of Prospero's Tempest. Second part, about Ariel, then Caliban, then Ferdinand. So I have decided to divide in certain phases. So you will get maybe 3 or 4 phases or 3 or 4 videos on this Act 1, Scene 2 of The Tempest. Before this, I have already published Act 1, Scene 1 of The Tempest in my channel, and even I have published a video on the discussion of the answer. So today we will see this, a part of this Act 1, Scene 2. Before we proceed, I would request my viewers to subscribe my channel, like my videos, and share it, because sharing education means imparting and increasing education. So let's begin here without wasting time. An island before prosperous cell. So we are here first introduced with the most important character, or we can say the protagonist of the play. That is, we all know very well who is he. He is Prospero. He was the king of Milan, the former king of Milan. Now the kingdom is being ruled by his brother Antonio. So we will see how it happened, how he came to this island when he was the king of Milan. And his daughter Miranda must be the princess. He had no son, so she must be the next heir to the throne. How they are here? How they possible? Let's see now. The scene begins with Miranda, and here is a continuation of that Tempest. Though here we'll see the Tempest from the words of Miranda. We won't see the Tempest as we had seen in the first scene. Miranda. If by your art means magic, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this road alleyway. Oh my father, if by your magic, if you have raised the water, or wind, or this tempest, please allay them, please stop them. Don't do this harm to the people in the ship. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking peach. See the sky, it is so dark, so black. It seems that the black tar, the burning tar, would pour down from the sky, and it would burn the skin of the people or everything. But that the sea, but see the sea, the condition of the sea, mounting to the Vulcan's cheek. The sea, the tempest or the wave is so high that it would touch the sky. Vulcan's cheek means sky. Touch the sky, dash the fire out, and that black cloud, which it seems like it has star inside, fire inside. This water is so high, the tide is so high that it seems it would go up, and it would, what it do? Dash out, means it would blow out the fire. It would calm down the fire. It will extinguish the fire. It seems like the wave is so high. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. If I see one is suffering, I myself felt suffer in my heart, and I don't feel good at the time. A brave vessel. See, father, it's a brave. Brave means noble here. Don't think very powerful. Brave means noble. A noble vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her. Must be this vessel is must be of some noble people. Dashed out all to pieces. And now this wind, this tempest would dash that vessel, means ship, into pieces. Oh, the cry that knocked against my very heart. The cry, it must be of people, but I don't know how could she hear the cry. It might be her imagination that people would be crying, Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. It is knocking at my heart. It is making a push in my heart. I am feeling pain in my heart. Poor souls, they perished. They all would die. Had I been any god of power, if I had the power of God, or if I would be a god, I would have sunk the sea within the earth. I would have given order to the sea, the water, to get inside the earth, or air, or before. Air means before. Before it should the good ship so have swallowed. Before the sea would come out to swallow, means to drown the ship in it, I would give the order to the sea, the water, to get inside the earth. And so that in this way I would be able to save these people in the ship. And the frothing soul within her means noble. Frothing again means the noble soul within her would be saved. Prosper. Be collected, calm down. No more amazement. Don't worry yourself. Don't harass yourself. Tell your piteous heart, there is no harm done. Tell your heart, everything is fine. They all are well. Nobody is going to be drowned. Miranda, oh, woe the day. How bad the day is today. Prospero, no harm. I said no harm. That's why the word is here, no harm. He has said, it means he's imposing to his daughter, no harm. I have done nothing. I did nothing to them. I just made a magic. There is a reason for doing it, but I did no wrong to them. But in care of thee, only because of you, I did no wrong. And because he has the purpose, because in the ship, he has his would-be son-in-law Ferdinand, so how could he harm them? That's why he said, but in care of thee. Oh, of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, only because you, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art. You don't know who art you are. Who art you are, ignorant, unknown of what thou art. That who are you? You don't know yourself, my dear, who you are. Not knowing of whence I am. Even you don't know who am I, your father. You don't know me even. Nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of this full poor self. You don't know me more than that I am only Prospero, master of this island, and thy no greater father, and only your father. You don't know me more than that, and you don't know about yourself even. Miranda, more to know, did never meddle with my thoughts. I have to know more about you and about myself. It has never meddled, come, enter in my thought. Prospero, this is time. Now this is the perfect time. I should inform thee further. I would tell you in detail everything. Lend thy hand, because he was doing his magic. He was raising the Tempest. So he said, he stopped those things and said, lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. Because wherever he does magic, what he does, he wears his magic garment. He takes, that is a robe, a magic garment, a robe. He takes his stick and then he commands Ariel to do the magic. So he says, pluck my magic garment from me, means take out my magic garment and keep it aside. Lays down his mantle. Mantle means his robe and whatever the magical instrument he has, he kept there. So lie there my art. Now I have seen my daughter. Why he said use the word so? Because he wants to make her confirm that I'm not going to do any of the magic here anymore. So I kept my thing aside, the magical thing aside. Wipe thou thine eyes. Now remove your tears. Why are you worrying about? The direful. Direful means dreadful. The direful means dreadful spectacle. The view which you have seen of the wreck means of the drowning of the ship, which touched, which have given you pain. The very virtue of compassion in thee. I know you have great compassion in your heart. You have a kind heart. So I know that it gives pain to you seeing that view. I have with such provision in my art, it means to say that I have with great concern and with great care in my art so safely ordered this tempest has come and the ship is about to be drawn. All these things I have designed in such a way that it would be a safe for everyone in the ship. They won't die. That there is no soul, that not a single one. No, not so much perdition. Perdition means destruction. No destruction as an hair be tied to any creature in the vessel. Not even a single hair of them would be destroyed. Which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest say. It means to say that the cry of the people you have heard. You have seen the ship is about to be drawn or sunk. Nothing would happen to anyone. Sit down and be calm. For thou must now know further. You have to know more about it. Miranda, you have often begun to tell me what I am. You started to tell me what I am. You are about to tell me who is Miranda and who are you, but stopped. But you did not say this thing. And let me do a bootless inquisition. Bootless means futile, without any value. Valueless inquisition means request. Concluding, stay, not yet. And then, first of all, you tell me to ask question, and I ask, and you afterward you tell me that. Okay, go wait. I will tell you afterward. So tell me, who am I and who are you? Prospero, the hour has come now. Now the time has reached when I have to tell you all the truth. She is now 15 years old, and he thinks it's the right time for him to tell her all the story, whatever happened with her, because he got the opportunity that in the ship he had Ferdinand, and he made a plan that he would give his daughter in marriage to Ferdinand. So there is a plan in his mind. Accordingly, he had to tell her all the story, what had happened to them and how they had come here and why this present tempest was raised. The very minutes bid thee, op thine ear. This is a perfect time, and you should open your ear, means you should listen with rapt attention, obey and be attentive. So listen carefully and with full attention. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? Do you remember anything before coming to this cell? When we were in the castle, when we were in the palace, do you remember anything about it? Anything before coming to the island? I do not think you canst. I don't think that you can remember anything. For then thou was not out 3 years old. Even at that time you were not 3 years old, means about to be 3 years old. Miranda, certainly, sir, I can. Yes, father. Yes, sir, I can. I know that. I remember it. Have you marked one thing here? That the tone of Miranda is changed. She is not saying her father, but using the word sir. Do you know why? First of all, it is seen here that Miranda is giving great attention to know about the past life of their, and also it is her custom to talk to her father in this way because her father was also her teacher. So she talks to her father in this way whenever her father wants to teach her something or explains her something. Now, Prospero, by what? How would you remember? How is it possible? By any other house or person to remember, any place, any house or any person to remember, of anything that the image, tell me, that had kept with my remembrance. Okay, so tell me anything, any image, anything you remember, so that I would confirm it with my remembrance. Yeah, definitely you remember anything, Miranda. This is far off, something very, very distant memory, and rather like a dream than an assurance. And it is something like very hazy, dreamy. I can't say it with surety, but it's something dream-like in my mind that my remembrance warrant. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me? Sometimes it is like 4 or 5 women tended me, used to take care of me. It is like that, Father Prospero. Thou hadst, and you had, yes, and more, not 4 or 5, more women. How is it? How is it possible that this lives in thy mind? How is it possible that it is in your mind? You're so small. What says thou else in the dark backward? Now, what do you remember of that, your back memory and abysm of time? Abysm actually means chasm. Chasm means deep hole here. And abysm of time, he is comparing the past life. He is comparing his past life to the black hole, black tragedy that he means to say. If thou rememberest out ere thou camest here. Do you remember anything? How we came here? How thou camest here? Thou mayest. Do you remember anything? How we came here? But that I do not know, Father. I cannot recollect it. I don't know how we came here. Prospero, 12 years since, not now. 12 years back. Miranda, 12 years since. My father was a Duke of Milan and a Prince of Power. 12 years back, your father was the Duke of Milan and a Prince of Power, a powerful man. Miranda was confused. She said, Sir, are you not my father? Definitely, he said, your father, and he is her father. Are you not my father? So definitely there is a question. Prospero, thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said, thou wast my daughter. What a good way of explanation. Your mother was a virtuous woman, and she told me that you are my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan. Myself, me, Prospero, was the Duke of Milan once. And his only heir and princess no was issued. And you are the only heir to the throne of mine. You are my princess. No one else, no issue, no other children I had, only you, and that is, you would be the next heir to the throne. And oh, the heavens, definitely it's a matter of great pain. How could a princess be here in this island living a poor life? Oh, the heavens, oh God, what foul play had we that we came from thence? What bad thing we did that we are here from that palace to this island? Or blessed was we did, or we were blessed because of this. What? Please explain me, Father. Prospero, by foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved hence. Heaved, removed. Heaved means here removed, hence from Milan. But blessedly halt hither. Halt means help. But God blessed us, help us to come hither. We are alive. We were removed from the Milan. But we, by chance, by the blessing of God, came here. Miranda, oh, my heart bleeds to think of the teen that I have turned you to. Oh, my Father, I am feeling pain now. My heart bleeds feeling pain now. To think of the teen, to think of the teen means pain, which I have given you, asking you the question, which is from my remembrance. Please you further. Now, I don't remember anything, but I ask you a question and you feel pain. My Father, I feel pain. Please tell me further what happened. Prospero, my brother and thy uncle, call Antonio. Now he is introducing his brother himself, and he was now going on introducing him as a treacherous brother. I pray thee, mark me. I'm requesting you, listen to me carefully. That a brother should be so perfidious. Perfidious means treacherous. A person who can plot against someone. He said, how could a brother be so treacherous to his brother? My brother were so close to each other, and my brother, he betrayed me. How could he be so perfidious, so treacherous? He whom next thyself of all the world I loved. My brother, after you, Miranda, I loved him a lot. No one else. Only you and my brother were the two persons my life. And to him put the manage of my estate. Because I love him so much, he means to say, because I love my brother so much, so I have given him all the affairs of my estate. He thought that he would be the king and his brother would assist him in ruling the kingdom of Milan. But it doesn't happen like that. What happens? See, as at that time, to all the signories means all the authorities, means all the power in Italy, it was the first. My Milan was the first kingdom. Among all the other kingdoms, for example, Venice is there, For example, Sicily is there, Belmont is there, many places are there in Italy. So among all those kingdoms, the best one at that time was Milan, when Prospero was the king. That he means to say. And Prospero, the prime duke, among all the duke, I was the number one and the best, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal art. In dignity, I had great dignity. And for two reasons, that I had great dignity, no one can compute me, and other, for the liberal art, means for the knowledge of literature, science, art, all those things. Without a parallel, no one in Delhi was such high in rank like me, myself, Prospero. Those being all my study, it means to say about his studies, which he used to be engrossed in, which he used to be always busy in and engaged in. He means to say, the government I cast upon my brother. He means to say that since he was very much busy in his study, so he has given the power or the authority of the government to his brother. And to my state grew stranger. Why? Because he was unable to do the work as a king. He was unable to listen to the petitions, the request of the people. So what he has done, he has given authority to his brother. Being transported and wrapped in secret studies, because I was busy in my studies day and night in my library, locked there. So I gave the in charge to my brother for some time. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me? And he has used the word false uncle, and he stopped and said, dost thou attend me? Are you listening to me? Miranda, sir, most heedfully, with full attention. Prospero, being once perfected how to grant suit. My brother, he's talking about his brother Antonio. Once, when my brother, he understood how to grant request, means how to fulfill the request of anyone, how to deny them, and even when to deny, how to deny. If someone had made a request, which request to keep and which request to deny, he learned. Who to advance and who to thrash for overtopping. To whom move his hand forward and take the advantage from, and who to crush for becoming ambitious. New created the creature that were mine. I believe he had changed all the ministers. New created the creatures. Creatures means ministers that were mine. Those people were mine. He had changed them. I say, or change them. He made a new one, means change them, or else new formed them, or else he changed their mind, means new formation has done inside those people. He has done new formation inside those people, means he has changed their mind. Having both the key of officer and office. He got everything. He got the office of authority, means he got my kingdom, and also all the officers, the ministers. Set all hearts in the state that to what tune pleased his ear. So, in the country, in the dukedom, he made such a law, or he performed in such a way that everybody was behaving as he wanted. And that now he was the ivy. My brother was the ivy leaf. What is ivy leaf? Ivy leaf is called a creeper, which grows on other big tree. It circles on the tree, hides the tree actually. It hides the main host, and it takes the advantage and it covers the whole. That he means to say. My brother became the ivy tree, which had hid my princely trunk. He had hidden me completely. I was at his back. My authority he had, but he had hidden me. And sucked my verdure, means my strength, my authority, out on it. Taking my power, he showed his face among the people, and he tried to control them. Thou attendest not, means he is speaking to Miranda. Oh good sir, I do, yes, I am listening to you, Prospero. I pray thee, mark me, listen to me carefully. I thus neglecting worldly aims. When I became so much busy and I was engrossed in my studies, so I neglected all the things which are required to be done for people, all dedicated to closeness. Closeness means secrecy. Secretly, and the bettering of my mind, and I was busy in increasing my knowledge, bettering of my mind, knowledge with that which, but by being so retired. So I was busy in my studies, I was bettering my knowledge, but being so retired, as I left all the essential activities of my kingdom, overprized, all popular rate in my false brother. Since I took retirement, I did not pay attention to the public affairs, to the people's affairs. So I overpriced, means overvalued everything I had given to my false brother. I thought that he would take care of my kingdom, awaken an evil nature. I did so. I trusted my brother so much that has awakened an evil thought in his mind, in his heart, in his mind, an evil thought. And my trust, like a good parent, I trusted my brother as if I was his father, like a parent. Did bigot. The parent, they trust their children a lot of him, they bigot of him, of falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was. The much I trusted him, that much he had done wrong with me. Against, that is, in its contrary, means he had done against my trust, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. Means without any limit I used to trust my brother, but he had betrayed me in that limit even. He being thus lauded not only with what my revenue yielded, he became the owner of all the revenue, the money which I used to get, but what my power might else exact. And he understood the power of the authority, like one who having into truth. Into the meaning of into is here against. Like one person who is against the truth. He is not doing anything which is true. By telling of it means only showing of it. He is showing truthfulness, but he is not true. Made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie. He himself does wrong to him by believing that he is a true man, though he is not. To credit his own lie, that he believes in his own lie and he thinks that he is doing correct. He did believe he was indeed the Duke, like my brother. He started believing himself to be the Duke. I gave him in charge of it as an assistance. But my brother took it as he was a Duke, out of the substitution. He was substitution for me. But being substitution, he started believing that he was the Duke and executing the outward face of royalty. With all prerogative, with all authority, he started showing his power, that is outward face of royalty. Inside he is not royal, because I have all the power behind. But he showed his face and tried to show that he was the Duke of Milan. Hence his ambition growing. Day by day his ambition grows because he used to get people's respect. He used to get the oaths from the people. So he started thinking he should be the king. Dost thou hear? Are you listening to me? Miranda, your tale, sir, would cure deepness. The way you speak, sir, and the story you are telling, the deep people would even hear. Prospero, to have no screen between this part he played and him, he played for it. This part he played means Antonio played, being as a king, being as a duke, and him he played for it, that for me he played, that I gave him the authority. There was no division between us. He needs will be absolute Milan. Now his ambition goes so high that he wanted to become the king of Milan. Absolute Milan, no substitution, no assistant, the whole Milan he wanted for himself. Me, poor man, my library was my dukedom large enough. I was enclosed in my library. I used to be engrossed in my studies. For me, my library became the kingdom. Of temporal royalties, he thinks me now incapable. he got the power for some time, which I gave to him. And he started thinking that my authority was nothing. He thought that his brother Prospero lost all his authorities. Confederates make allies, means friendship, political friendship. So dry he was for sway. He was so thirst, he had so thirst for the power that he made confederates, that he made allies with the king of Naples. And that king of Naples was the dire enemy, was the acute enemy of Prospero. To give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. He make friendship with king of Naples only to serve his purpose, that he would become the Duke of Milan. And king of Naples, in lieu of his help, what he would do? He would take some tribute. He would take some money from him, and even he would share half of the kingdom of Milan with king of Naples, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Doing this, my brother Antonio had bowed the authority, the dignity of Milan in front of the meager, less valued kingdom of Naples. To most ignoble stooping. This is most hateful stooping, that is bowing down. Miranda, oh the heaven. She has no word to say. So, oh the heaven, what happened? Prospero. Mark his condition. Now listen carefully what he has done. And then tell me if this might be a brother. And then tell me if a brother could be like this. And I should sin. No, if I think like if my uncle was wrong, it is a sin for me. Why? To think but nobly of my grandmother. If I would think like that my uncle was wrong, then I would think against that my grandmother was not noble woman. Good women have born bad sons. How would I think that woman, my grandmother, was so great woman? How would I think that she had given birth to bad sons? So I cannot think like this. Prospero. Now the condition. Now see what condition was there. The king of Naples being an enemy, he was a dire enemy of mine, the king of Naples. To me, inveterate, means confirmed. Since king of Naples was my extremist enemy, so he confirmed. Inveterate means confirmed. Hearken, it means he had accepted my brother's request of helping him against me, since he was my greatest enemy, which was that in lieu of the premises of homage and I know not how much tribute. Okay, so king of Naples has not done this thing free of cost. He had taken some tribute, some money from him, and he had shared half of the kingdom of Milan. And then he had done this thing, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom. So they have made a plan to do what? To take my power. Extirpate me means to remove me, and mine out of the kingdom, out of the kingdom means my power and everything they wanted to remove from me and remove me from the kingdom and confer fair Milan with all the honors on my brother. And all the authorities would be confirmed on my brother. It means I would be thrown out of the kingdom and my brother would take in charge as the king, as the new duke. Whereon a treacherous army levied. So for this purpose, they created one treacherous army who had dark thought inside to kill us, to destroy us. One night fated to the purpose, and they had fixed one night for that purpose to kill us. Did Antonio open the gates of Milan? My brother, he himself opened the gate of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, at night, at midnight, darkness means at midnight, the minister for the purpose means the people, those who were the army, the men of army, those who were assigned to do this black deed, purpose, hurried thence me and thy crying self. You were crying, you were weeping They forced us to out. They took us out from our palace and hurriedly took us toward the sea. Miranda, alack means alas for pity. Oh, I feel pain here. I not remembering how I cried out then. When cry it over again, I don't know how at that time I cried, but listening to your story, I would cry now even. It is a hymn that wrings mine eyes. This is the occasion, means listening to this occasion, my eyes, I feel it would again, the tear would come, I don't know. Prospero, hear a little further, now listen to me more. More you have to listen a little bit, and then I shall bring thee to the present business. Now then I shall explain you the purpose of today's Tempest and everything, which now has upon, without which the story were most impertinent. Listen to me further, listen more about the story, and I would tell you the importance of the story. Otherwise, the story which I have explained you would have no importance. Wherefore did they not that hour destroy you? Why did not these people kill you at that time? Why they left you in the tempest? Why didn't they kill you? Hospital. Well demanded. This is the perfect question you have asked me. Wench means girl. My tale provokes that question. Yeah, after listening to this, if they had the authority, they would have killed us. Why didn't they do this thing? It's a question. Dear, they durst. Durst means dare not. They durst not means they dare not. So dare the love my people bore me. Means there are people in the army, those definitely they were under the command of the new king, that is Antonio, but his people used to love him a lot. So they did not dare to do this thing. If the news would come out, if they would know that Antonio had killed, so maybe the people, they all revolted against Antonio. Nor said our mark so bloody on the business. And they don't want to do a bloody business. They want to spoil their business with my blood, because they were afraid that if they would kill me, there would be a different tumult and there would be a different revolt in the country. But with colors fairer painted their foul names. But what they did, they had disguised with the beautiful color, that they would say to the people that they did not know what happened to Prospero and his daughter. Both of them went to the sea and the tempest engulfed them. They would say all these things. They would make this thing so that there is no, it would show that Antonio had nothing to do with them. It's a fate. It's destined by the God. That's why. So they did this thing to disguise their treacherous state. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark. They had taken, in few minutes, they had taken us to a bark, means near the sea there is a boat. Bore us some leagues to sea. Leagues means 3 miles. So they left us 3 miles from the sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt. In the sea there is a boat, but it is rotten. Torn butt means a boat. Torn boat, not rigged. Rigged means that is the oar with which they would move the boat. Nor tackle, there's nothing, no place to hold. No sail, that no canvas, and nor mast, that is the rope in between, nothing. The very rats instinctively had quitted. Even the rat would not stay there. That because it is so much stone and it is completely a wrecked boat. There they hoist us. Means both of us were kept inside to cry to the sea. Now we were left to the sea. Cry how much you want to cry. That roared to us. We went to the sea and they cried, and the sea replied back with its roaring. To sigh to the wind was pity, sighing back again. Our pain, sigh here means cry, the sound of cry. We cried to the wind and the wind cried back to us, bid us both but loving wrong. This is what they have done wrong. Means the sea or the wind, they cried back to us, but they did not know that they were doing harm to us in love. Means sea and wind. Miranda, alack, what trouble was then I to you? My father, I was a great trouble for you at that time. Prospero, O cherubim, you were an angel for me, dear. Thou wast that did preserve me. You were the only person, because of you I was alive, and we are alive here because of you. Thou didst smile. You smiled at the time so beautifully. infused with a fortitude from heaven. From the heaven, I got the power inside. When I have decked the sea with drops full salt. Two meanings of dropped full salt. One is the water from the sea, and other the drop from his eyes. When I decked the sea, when I was in the ship on the sea, on the boat, at that time the tears were rolling down under my burdened groan, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue. So, seeing a smile, I got a strength from the heaven to change the fate of the time. Against what should ensue means against the time, against the fate which was destined for us. I got the stomach, I got the power to change the fate of the time. Miranda, how can we assure? She was confused. Definitely we were on the Tempest, and how we came here? Prospero, by providence divine. By the divine help. Providence here means help, by providence divine. Some food we had. In the ship we had food. Some fresh water even. That a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, out of a charity, who being then appointed master of the design. Gonzalo was the master, means he was the head of this whole design, that is to kill Prospero and his daughter. But he was a kind-hearted man. He knows the value of true men and true king. So what he had done, he helped Prospero. He kept, without being known by anyone, he kept there some food, some fresh water, so that if they would survive, they would use it. Master of design did give us, he gave us some food and some water with rich garments, linens, stuffs and necessaries, which since have exceeded much. He had given many things, garments, clothes, some food, some other necessary thing which help us so much to fight against that fate. So of his gentleness, knowing I love my book. He was so gentle, he knew that I love my book. So he had furnished me a book from my library. Actually, that was the book of magic, and by the help of his magic, he survived with his daughter. I prize above my due. Means the book which I have in my library, those books I prized much above my due. Is my character. Miranda, would I might but ever see that man? Is it possible that I would see that man? No. We'll keep till here today. Will not proceed further. Already we have completed 170 lines today, and from here we'll proceed further. So I hope that this part we all have understood. If you have any problem, any trouble to understand, please comment me. I will make it much better, and I would explain you in a better way, or if it's possible, I will divide this part even into two, so that it would be easier for you all to understand. Let me know in the comment. For today, keep it here. Goodbye. Thank you very much.